and we are joined today by Damon men's soccer coach Bediako Swan. Damon is getting ready to go to face Mercyhurst this Saturday. It'll be their first game in 2 weeks by the time they start on April 10th. So, Coach, it's great to see you again, and thanks for joining us today.
Yep, thank you for allowing me to talk to you today. It's been 2 weeks. It's kind of been a while, but yeah.
So the season started back on March 21st here against Gannon. That was the first game in 498 days. And then on the 27th against Roberts. And I guess despite the on and offs because of the world we're in right now with COVID and everything, how would you describe, Coach, your emotions and maybe the team's emotions as well of having the games on the schedule once again?
I think for me, in terms of how I felt about it, it was more happy for the guys, for the players who, have been working hard and, trying to, as we are committed to what we're trying to do as a program moving forward. So we were just happy to finally, one, evaluate them in, against opponents. And also, the joy of having them play because, in the world we are in now, there's a lot of people in even a lot of different countries or even in different states who have not been able to really play soccer competitively. So the excitement for me is just more on, happy for my players as they're able to finally play again.
Definitely. I know that there's a lot of excitement of seeing the men's program back on the pitch again the past few weeks. So a 2-1 loss to Gannon and then a 4-2 loss to Roberts in the first two games, 0-2 overall on the season. Obviously, both games had different sense of the flow of how things went. From your perspective, what observations did you have if you could compare the games, Gannon and Roberts Wesleyan?
Yeah, I mean, those games are totally opposite. Two different teams in terms of the way they play. I thought. I mean, we had chances. I think we had against Gannon. I think he didn't show up on the stat sheet. And it was just missed opportunities where we couldn't get the ball on target, or we missed a pass here and there. And I mean, for the Gannon game, it's the first game for us that season. I think the guys came out, very focused and very competitive. I just think at the end, we kind of pretty much our decisions cost us in allowing Gannon to come back to the in the game and eventually winning the game. For the Roberts game, I thought we kind of started very slow. Once again, there's miscommunications here and there or loss of focus on on certain areas of the field, which allow Roberts to dominate. I think after they scored, I think the third goal, then in the second half we started really started to play the style of play we are looking for as a team or as a program moving forward. And we somewhat came back a little bit more competitive. So even though the game, finished 4-2, I think in the second half, it gave me hope that, we can carry that going forward. Obviously, conceding 6 goals in 2 games is not good. So, our focus now is, at least for the rest of this season, is to, prevent goals from scoring, period.
You've had a lot of playmakers so far, but I think the two that stood out to me so far, Beatty, has been Marcos Lerma Escobar between the pipes the first 2 games, and also freshman Dennis Mateo Guerrero. Marcos is transferred from Madai. He came over to Damon in the offseason, and Dennis, he's only a freshman. He's got 2 goals to his name already. One of those two specifically, Coach, what have they brought to this program and what you're trying to do in terms of building the culture, like you mentioned in the past as well?
Yeah, I mean, for Dennis, I would say as a freshman, Dennis came in here, and when I recruited him, I told him, and like the idea of freshman, sophomore, that doesn't apply for this program. Is what you can produce in practice, and I mean, long as you are in good standing with the school, you're gonna get your opportunity. I thought even coming in, if you want to call it a mini preseason before you eventually start playing games, I thought Dennis came in very fit and very determined. Dennis is a hard worker, which it's a credit to the 2 goals he scored. He was more getting himself in those positions and finishing those opportunities. For Marcos, I said like Marcos brought a level of I would say like a security blanket in a goalkeeping position for a back line. He has the ability. I could say he could probably even play on the field if he wasn't a goalkeeper. So he kind of brings that stability and that comfort in the defense that they can pass the ball back to him, and we wouldn't be giving up a goal that way. And also, obviously, he's a keeper, so he makes a couple saves that prevents the goals, which once again boosts the defense, especially when there is breakdown.
Definitely. Both guys will be back on Saturday along with the rest of the team against Mercyhurst. We mentioned a couple times it's the first game in 2 weeks, and Belleville and Medai, those games have been rescheduled. We also had Buffalo State going on the road there later this month. But focusing on Mercyhurst here, because there's been the 2-week layoff, what do you hope the team tries to build off those first 2 games and through the practices the past couple weeks here, Saturday against the Lakers?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it was 2 weeks, but I think those 2 weeks give us an opportunity to practice and also to, what I would say, deal with the issues we were having. I mean, any coach will tell you there's always issue on the field, but you're trying to deal with the major issues first. So there's the priorities. So that's what we've been focusing on. And as we in the previous games we gave, like I said, it's 6 goals. So defense, we worked a lot of on a defensive responsibility, defensive tactics, and offensively, we worked on more ball possession type of thing, where we can at least hold on to the ball. I'll say for more than 5 seconds. The game Mercyhurst. Just looking at obviously their stats right now, they're 2-0, and I will expect them to be coming in, and being very competitive, especially the coach who I know a few years back. So I do expect them to be a very challenging opponent. Um, I'm hoping, or I'm expecting that we are up to the task that will be going to be presented. We're trying to be competitive, especially for the kind of regional teams right now, to see where we are in our standings, to kind of look forward for what, is presented for the fall.
Well, it should be exciting Saturday, April 10th at noon down in Erie. David Men's Soccer on the road, continuing their season here. Coach Swan, we thank you for your time today. Have a good trip, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, and thank you for your time.